Do you ever have a hard time receiving help? We're going to think about that today on Now What Devotions from Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus. So, my first job back when I was just 15, I was a lifeguard and a water safety instructor, and I did that all the way through high school, and I did that some in college as well. And I'll tell you, you learn a lot being a lifeguard. And I lifeguarded out at Pomme de Terre Park in Morris used to have a swimming hole, not nearly as nice as the beach here in Starbuck, but so I used to lifeguard out there, and it's an interesting job. You spend your time harshing people's vibe. They want to have fun, and you say no, and they want to do this and that, and you say don't do that. And you see the risks that they don't see, and you watch people overestimate their abilities and take risks that you are the one who's responsible for, but then also are risks to you personally, because if they get hurt, you have to go help them. And then worse, when you actually try to help people, if they're really panicking or flailing or whatnot, they can take you with them. They can really hurt you too. So I learned service when I was young. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like people being mad at you for doing a thing that is good for them. So we are in the book of Matthew today, it's chapter 10. And Jesus is giving his disciples marching orders. And first he told them what to do. Go out and bring the kingdom. Go do what Jesus does. Heal, serve, love, give without expectation, be humble. Do all the things that he does. And then he says, I'm going to send my spirit with you. And then he says, and by the way, people will probably hate you for this. And we talked about why. That would be last week. And this week, we're thinking about how to start, what to do. And he says this really fascinating thing. And this is, if you give as I give, if you love as I love, and people receive it, they are receiving me. And if they receive me, they receive my Father. So that's fascinating. But then he also says, and if you receive, you have the same reward. Okay. So it's not just the giving, it's not just the loving, it's the receiving of love. Jesus is present in both. And when we do that, we create the thing. And I've experienced that as a lifeguard. So back when I was lifeguarding, one thing you would find is some people actually paid attention to you and listened. And then not only would they pay attention and listen, they would also encourage others to do the same, right? When they received what you had to offer, all of a sudden you had this community of support, and it wasn't just you, it was also others who were receiving that and then moving it forward too. My thought for you this week is twofold. Number one, we should expect resistance, but not only is our job not to correct the world, it is to love the world. And what that means is also that when we should be giving, but also receiving. And then last off of that, I think it means it really matters how we live, because we are showing what Jesus does. We are showing who Jesus is by how we give and how we receive. That means that, just because God has grace and forgives everybody, that doesn't mean we should go sin like with wild abandon. It means it matters how we live. As a lifeguard, if you're running around being crazy, you ain't helping your cause, right? Same for policemen and firefighters, our soldiers who we honor, and all the folks who make our nation work. It's the same thing, right? As we celebrate July 4th coming up. Or, you think about nurses and teachers and parents, all of those. It does matter. It absolutely matters how we live. But when we move the needle from correction to example, when we move the needle from judgment to forgiveness, and then when we consider that our giving matters as much as our receiving, Jesus gives us a really beautiful and amazing version of what discipleship, and it is not necessarily what we have expected, right? It's not necessarily what the church always is pushing forward. That's your thought for the week. I'm Pastor Chris from Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus, signing off for now.